There's a truth you've been dodging, a shadow that lingers in the corners of your mind, whispering doubts when you're alone with your thoughts. It's the truth you're afraid to face, not because it's cruel, but because it demands change. It asks you to step into a version of yourself you've only dreamed of, and that's terrifying. Facing the truth means admitting you've been holding yourself back, that the life you're living isn't the one you're meant for, and that you have the power to rewrite your story. But here's the thing, the truth you're avoiding isn't your enemy, it's your liberation. It's the key to unlocking a life of purpose, courage, and unapologetic authenticity. This is your moment to stop running, to turn around, and to face it head on. Let's walk through this together, because the truth you're afraid to face is the spark that will set your soul on fire. Fear is a universal language, isn't it? It speaks to all of us, no matter where we come from or what we've been through. It's the knot in your stomach when you think about taking a risk, the voice that says, "You're not good enough," or "What if you fail?" But let's get one thing straight. Fear isn't here to stop you. It's here to show you where your growth lies. The truth you're afraid to face is often wrapped in fear's disguise. But beneath that disguise is a challenge to become more than you are right now. Think about it. Every time you've grown, every time you've achieved something meaningful, it was because you pushed past fear. You applied for that job. You had that tough conversation. You took that leap. The truth is, fear is a signal that you're on the edge of something extraordinary. So, what's the fear telling you right now? What truth is it pointing to that you've been too scared to acknowledge? Maybe the truth you're avoiding is that you're not living up to your potential. Deep down, you know you're capable of more. You've got dreams, ideas, and passions that light you up, but you tuck them away in a drawer labeled someday. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right time, the right resources, the right permission. But here's the hard truth. Someday is a lie you tell yourself to stay comfortable. The right time doesn't exist, it's a myth. The truth you're afraid to face is that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is you, not your circumstances, not your past, not the opinions of others, you. And that's both terrifying and empowering, because if you're the problem, you're also the solution. You have the power to decide, right now, to stop waiting and start acting. What's one small step you could take today toward the life you really want? Don't overthink it, just act. Let's talk about failure, because it's probably one of the biggest truths you're dodging. Nobody likes to fail. It stings, it bruises, it makes you question everything. But the truth you're afraid to face is that failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. Every successful person you admire, every hero in your favorite story, has failed more times than you can count. Failure isn't a verdict, it's a teacher. It shows you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. The fear of failure keeps you stuck, but the truth is that staying stuck is worse than failing. When you fail, you learn. When you stay stuck, you stagnate. So, what's the worst that could happen if you tried and failed? You learn something, you grow, you get back up. The truth is, you're stronger than your fear of failure, and every stumble is proof of your resilience. Embrace it. Another truth you might be avoiding is that you're not as alone as you think. Fear loves to isolate you, to make you believe you're the only one struggling, the only one who doesn't have it all together. But look around, everyone is fighting their own battles, wrestling with their own truths. The person you admire for their confidence, they've got insecurities too. The colleague who seems to have it all figured out, they're questioning themselves, just like you are. The truth you're afraid to face is that vulnerability is your superpower. When you open up, when you share your struggles, you create connections that make you stronger. Reach out, ask for help, share your dreams. The truth is, the people around you want to see you succeed. They're waiting for you to let them in. Who could you reach out to today? Who could you share your truth with? Let's get real about excuses, because they're the walls you built around your truth. You say you don't have time, money, or energy. You say the world is too hard. The odds are too stacked against you. But the truth you're afraid to face is that excuses are just fear in disguise. They're the stories you tell yourself to. Avoid the discomfort of change. The truth is, you have the same 24 hours as everyone else. You have talents, skills, and a spark that's uniquely yours. The world isn't perfect, but it's full of opportunities for those who dare to seize them. Stop waiting for permission or perfect conditions. The truth is, you're ready now, not tomorrow, not next year, but now. What's one excuse you've been leaning on that you can let go of today? Name it, and then crush it with action. The truth you're afraid to face might also be about who you're becoming. Are you living a life that aligns with your values? Or are you drifting, letting circumstances dictate your path? It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, to let routine dull your sense of purpose. But the truth is, you're not here to just exist, you're here to create, to inspire, to make a difference. The truth you're avoiding is that you're meant for something bigger, something that scares you because it feels so right. Maybe it's starting that business, writing that book, or standing up for what you believe in. Whatever it is, it's calling you, and ignoring that call only leads to regret. The truth is, you're not just a passenger in your life, you're the driver. Where do you want to go? What's one choice you can make today to steer toward a life that feels true to you? Let's talk about self-doubt, because it's a truth you're probably wrestling with right now. That voice in your head that says you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. It's loud, isn't it? But here's the truth you're afraid to face. That voice is a liar. It's not you. It's just a habit, a pattern you've let take root. The truth is, you are enough exactly as you are. You don't need to be perfect to start, to succeed, or to be loved. You just need to show up, flaws and all, and give yourself permission to try. The truth is, self-doubt doesn't disappear on its own. You have to drown it out with action. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a vote for your worth. What's one thing you can do today to prove that voice wrong? Do it, and watch how quickly it starts to lose its power. Another truth you might be dodging is that time is not on your side. It's a harsh one, isn't it? We like to think we have forever, that we can put off our dreams until tomorrow. But the truth is, time is slipping through your fingers every second you hesitate. Every moment you spend doubting, procrastinating, or hiding is a moment you're not living fully. The truth you're afraid to face is that you don't get a do-over for the time you've lost. But here's the good news. You have now. This moment, right here, is yours to claim. The truth is, it's never too late to start, but it's always too early to give up. What's one thing you've been putting off that you can start today? Not tomorrow, today. Time is your most precious resource. Don't let it slip away. Let's address the truth about comparison, because it's a trap we all fall into. You look at others, their success, their confidence, their highlight reels, and you feel like you're falling short. The truth you're afraid to face is that comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your focus, and your belief in yourself. The truth is, your journey is yours alone. No one else has your story, your struggles, or your unique spark. When you compare, you're measuring your behind the scenes against someone else's curated facade. The truth is, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be to start your own story. Let go of comparison and embrace your path. What's one thing you love about your journey? Your quirks, your unique perspective. Celebrate that today and let it fuel your next step. The truth you're avoiding might also be about forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, letting go of the past. You're carrying wounds, regrets, or grudges that weigh you down, and they're keeping you from moving forward. The truth you're afraid to face is that holding on to pain doesn't protect you, it imprisons you. Forgiveness isn't about excusing what happened, it's about freeing yourself to live fully, in the present. The truth is, you deserve to let go. You deserve to release the burdens that aren't yours to carry anymore. Who do you need to forgive, yourself included? What's one step you can take toward letting go? It might be a conversation, a journal, entry, or a moment of quiet reflection. Whatever it is, do it. The truth is, forgiveness is the key to your freedom. Let's talk about action, because all these truths lead to one undeniable reality. Nothing changes until you do. The truth you're afraid to face is that thinking, planning, and dreaming aren't enough. You have to act. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be big, but it has to happen. The truth is, every great achievement started with a single, imperfect step. The truth is, you're capable of taking that step right now. What's stopping you? Fear, doubt, excuses, name it. Face it and move past it. The truth is, action creates momentum and momentum creates change. What's one action you can take today right now to move toward the life you want? Don't wait. Do it. The truth you're afraid to face is also about love for yourself, for others, for the life you're building. You might be scared to admit that you deserve love, that you're worthy of it, that you can give it freely without fear of rejection. The truth is, love is the foundation of everything meaningful. When you love yourself, you show up differently. You take risks, you set boundaries, you chase dreams. When you love others, you build connections that make life richer. The truth you're avoiding is that love starts with you. It starts with accepting yourself, flaws and all, and choosing to show up as your authentic self. The truth is, you are lovable. You have so much love to give. How can you show yourself love today? How can you share that love with someone else? Another truth you might be dodging is that you're stronger than you realize. Life has thrown challenges at you, heartbreak, loss, setbacks, and you're still here. The truth you're afraid to face is that those struggles didn't break you. They built you. Every time you got back up, every time you kept going, you proved your resilience. The truth is, you have a strength inside you that can handle whatever comes next. You're not fragile, you're forged in fire. So, what's the challenge you're facing now? What's the truth you're scared to confront? Know this, you've faced hard things before, and you'll face them again. You're ready. What's one way you can tap into that strength today? Lean into it and let it carry you forward. The truth you're avoiding might also be about purpose. You're here for a reason, and deep down, you know it. Maybe you buried that knowledge under layers of doubt or distraction, but it's there, waiting for you to claim it. The truth is, your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing, it just has to be yours. It's in the way you show up for others, the work you do with passion, the moments you feel most alive. The truth you're afraid to face is that you're already on the path to your purpose, you just need to trust it. Stop looking for a neon sign and start noticing the quiet nudges. What makes you feel alive? What impact do you want to leave on the world? The truth is, your purpose is already within you. What's one step you can take to live it out today? Let's talk about change, because it's at the heart of every truth you're avoiding. Change is scary, it's messy, uncertain, and uncomfortable. But the truth you're afraid to face is that change is also beautiful. It's the doorway to growth, to new beginnings, to the life you're meant to live. The truth is, you can't stay where you are and become who you're meant to be. Change requires courage, but it also brings freedom. The truth is, you're ready for change, even if you don't feel ready. You've changed before. Every challenge you've overcome, every lesson you've learned, has been a step toward who you are now. What's one change you've been resisting? What's one small step you can take toward embracing it? The truth is, change is your ally, not your enemy. As we near the end of this journey, let's circle back to the truth you're afraid to face. You are enough. You are enough to chase your dreams, to overcome your fears, to live a life that lights you up. The truth is, you don't need to be anyone other than who you are right now to start. The truth is, every step you take toward your truth makes you stronger, braver, and more alive. The truth is, the life you want is waiting for you to claim it. So stop running, stop hiding, face the truth, because it's not here to break you, it's here to set you free. What's the first truth you're ready to face today? Name it, own it, act on it. The world is waiting for you to shine. This is your moment. The truth you're afraid to face isn't a burden, it's a gift. It's the spark that will ignite your courage, your passion, your purpose. Every truth you've been avoiding is a stepping stone to a life that's bigger, bolder, and truer than you've ever imagined. You don't have to face it all at once, but you do have to start. Take one step today, one small, brave, and perfect step. The truth is, you're ready. The truth is, you're capable. The truth is, you're unstoppable. So, go out there and face it. The life you're meant for is waiting. Fear is a familiar companion, isn't it? It's that tightness in your chest when you think about stepping into the unknown, the quiet voice that whispers, "What if you're not enough?" Or "What if you fail?" For too long, you've let fear be the wall that stops you, the reason you hesitate, the excuse for staying small. But what if fear isn't your enemy? What if, instead, it's your compass and guide pointing you toward the life you're meant to live? The truth is, your fear is not here to hold you back. It's here to show you where your growth lies, where your dreams are waiting, where your true potential is calling. Your fear is your compass, and it's time to learn how to read it. Let's embark on this journey together, because the life you want is on the other side of the fear you're ready to face. Think about the moments in your life when you felt fear most intensely. Maybe it was the thought of leaving a job that no longer fulfills you, starting a new venture, or speaking your truth in a world that might not listen. That fear wasn't random. It showed up because you were standing on the edge of something meaningful. Your fear is your compass because it appears when you're close to something that matters. It's not a sign to turn back. It's a signal to move forward. The truth is, the things that scare you most are often the things that will define you. They're the choices, the risks, the dreams that have the power to transform your life. So, what's making you afraid right now? What dream? What goal? What truth is your fear pointing you toward? Name it, because that's where your journey begins. Let's start with the idea that fear is not a flaw, it's a feature. Society tells us to avoid fear, to play it safe, to stay comfortable. But comfort is a trap. It keeps you stuck in a life that's predictable but unfulfilling, safe but uninspired. The truth is, fear is proof you're alive, proof you're reaching for something bigger than your current reality. Your fear is your compass because it shows up when you're daring to dream, when you're pushing against the boundaries of what you thought was possible. Think about the people you admire, the innovators, the artists, the leaders. Do you think they were fearless? No. They felt the same fear you do, but they used it as a guide, not a roadblock. They let their fear point them toward their purpose. What's one thing you've been avoiding because it scares you? That's your starting point. That's your compass needle trembling toward your next step. Fear often disguises itself as doubt, whispering that you're not ready, not smart enough, not worthy. But here's the truth. That doubt is just fear trying to protect you from the unknown. Your fear is your compass because it shows up when you're about to step into uncharted territory. It's not a sign you're on the wrong path, it's a sign you're on the right one. The truth is, you don't need to be ready to start. You don't need to have all the answers or a perfect plan. You just need to take the first step. The truth is, action is the antidote to fear. Every time you act despite your fear, you weaken its grip. You prove to yourself that you're stronger than the voice in your head. What's one small action you can take today to move towards something that scares you? It doesn't have to be huge, just enough to remind you that you're in control. Let's talk about failure, because it's one of the biggest fears holding you back. The fear of failing, of looking foolish, losing time, or disappointing others can feel paralyzing. But your fear is your compass because it points you toward growth. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every stumble, every rejection, every misstep is a lesson that sharpens your skills and strengthens your resolve. The truth is, the only real failure is refusing to try. When you avoid failure, you avoid growth. When you avoid growth, you avoid the life you're capable of living. Think about a time you failed. Really think about it. Did it destroy you? Or did it teach you something? Did it make you stronger, wiser, more determined? Your fear of failure is your compass because it's showing you where you need to grow. What's one risk you've been afraid to take? What's the worst that could happen if you tried and failed? Now, what's the best that could happen if you succeeded? Let that guide you. Another way your fear is your compass is that it reveals what you care about. Fear doesn't show up for things that don't matter, it shows up for the dreams that keep you awake at night, the goals that make your heart race, the relationships that mean everything to you, If you're afraid to pursue a passion, to speak up, to love deeply, it's because those things are tied to your purpose. Your fear is your compass because it's highlighting what's worth fighting for. The truth is, the bigger the fear, the bigger the reward on the other side. So, what are you most afraid of right now? Is it starting that business, writing that book, or having that honest conversation? That fear is telling you something. It's telling you what matters. It's pointing you toward the life you're meant to live. What's one thing you care about deeply that you've been too afraid to pursue? Let that fear guide you toward action today. Let's address the fear of judgment, because it's a powerful force keeping you small. You worry about what others will think, what they'll say if you step out of line or chase a bold dream. But here's the truth. The fear of judgment is your compass because it shows you where you're letting others' opinions control your life. The truth is, people will always have opinions, but those opinions don't define you, your actions do. The people who matter will support you, and the ones who don't were never meant to be part of your journey. Your fear is your compass because it's asking you to choose yourself over the crowd. It's asking you to live authentically, to be unapologetically you. What's one thing you've held back from doing because you're afraid of what others might think? Imagine doing it anyway. Imagine the freedom, the power, the joy. Your fear is pointing you toward that liberation. Take one step toward it today. Your fear is also your compass when it comes to change. Change is terrifying because it's uncertain, unpredictable, and often uncomfortable. But the truth is, change is where growth happens. Your fear of change is your compass because it's showing you the doorway to a new version of yourself. The truth is, you can't become who you're meant to be by staying where you are. Every time you've grown, every time you've become stronger, wiser, or braver, it was because you embraced change, even when it scared you. Think about a time you faced a big change, like moving to a new city, starting a new job, or ending a relationship. It was scary, wasn't it? But it also led you to new opportunities, new strengths, new versions of yourself. Your fear is your compass because it's pointing you toward transformation. What change are you resisting right now? What's one small step you can take to lean into it? Let's talk about the fear of not being enough, because it's one of the deepest fears we all carry. You might be afraid that you don't have what it takes, that you're not smart enough, talented enough, or strong enough to achieve your dreams. But your fear is your compass because it's showing you where you need to believe in yourself. The truth is, you are enough exactly as you are. You don't need to be perfect to start, to succeed, or to be loved. The truth is, your worth isn't tied to your achievements or your failures, it's inherent. Your fear is your compass because it's asking you to trust yourself, to bet on yourself, to show up as you are and take the leap. Every time you act despite this fear, you're proving to yourself that you are enough. What's one thing you've been holding back from because you feel you're not ready? Do it anyway. Your fear is pointing you toward your own strength. Your fear is your compass when it comes to vulnerability, to opening up, sharing your truth, asking for help. These things can feel terrifying because they expose you to rejection or judgment. But your system, your fear is your compass because it highlights the moments when you're most authentic, most human, most alive. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage. It's the willingness to show up as your true self, even when it's scary. Your fear of vulnerability is your compass because it's pointing you toward deeper connections, greater authenticity, and a life that feels real. Think about a time you were vulnerable. Maybe you shared your feelings, admitted a mistake, or asked for help. Did it feel like the end of the world, or did it lead to something meaningful? Your fear is guiding you toward relationships and experiences that matter. What's one way you can be vulnerable today? Maybe it's a conversation, a confession, or a moment of honesty. Let your fear guide you toward connection. The fear of the unknown is another powerful compass. The future is uncertain, and that uncertainty can feel like a void, a place where anything could go wrong. But your fear is your compass because it's showing you the possibilities that lie beyond your comfort zone. The truth is, the unknown isn't just a place of danger, it's a place of opportunity. Every great adventure, every meaningful change, begins with stepping into the unknown. Your fear is your compass because it's pointing you toward a future that's bigger than your present. Think about a time you faced the unknown, maybe a new job, a new relationship, a new city. It was terrifying, but it also opened doors you couldn't have imagined. What unknown are you facing now? What's one step you can take to explore it? Your fear is guiding you toward a future that's waiting for you to claim it. Let's talk about the fear of success because it's more common than you might think. Sometimes, you're not just afraid of failing, you're afraid of succeeding. What if you achieve your dreams and it changes everything? What if success comes with new responsibilities, new expectations, new pressures? Your fear is your compass because it's showing you the life you're capable of living, a life where you're thriving, not just surviving. The truth is, success doesn't mean perfection. It means growth, impact, and fulfillment. Your fear of success is your compass because it's pointing you toward your potential. What's one dream you've been hesitant to pursue because success feels overwhelming? Break it down into one small step. Your fear is guiding you toward a life that's bigger than you've allowed yourself to imagine. Your fear is your compass when it comes to purpose. Deep down, you know you're here for a reason, but the fear of not finding that purpose or pursuing it and failing can keep you stuck. Your fear is your compass because it's showing you what lights you up, what makes you feel alive, what you're meant to do. Purpose doesn't have to be a grand, world-changing mission. It could be as simple as creating something beautiful, helping someone in need, or living with integrity. Your fear is your compass because it's pointing you toward a life that feels meaningful. What's one thing that makes you feel purposeful, even if it scares you? Maybe it's teaching, creating, advocating, or connecting. Let your fear guide you toward that purpose today. Take one step, no matter how small. Another fear your compass points to is the fear of letting go. Maybe you're holding onto a relationship, a job, or a belief that no longer serves you. The fear of letting go is powerful because it means releasing control, trusting the process, and embracing uncertainty. But your fear is your compass because it's showing you what's holding you back. The truth is, letting go doesn't mean losing, it means making space for something better. Think about a time you let go of something that wasn't working. Maybe it was a toxic friendship, a dead-end job, or an old habit. It was scary, but it freed you to grow, to thrive, to become more yourself. What's one thing you're holding on to that's weighing you down? Your fear is guiding you toward freedom. What's one step you can take to start letting go? Your fear is your compass when it comes to self-love. Loving yourself truly, deeply, unconditionally can be terrifying because it means accepting your flaws, your mistakes, your humanity. But your fear is your compass because it's pointing you toward the foundation of a fulfilling life. The truth is, you can't fully love others, chase your dreams, or live your purpose without first loving yourself. Self-love isn't arrogance. It's the courage to say, I'm enough. Your fear of not being enough is your compass because it's asking you to embrace your worth. What's one way you can show yourself love today? Maybe it's resting, setting a boundary, or celebrating a small win. Your fear is guiding you toward a relationship with yourself that's strong, compassionate, and empowering. Let's talk about the fear of time because it's a fear we all face. You're afraid. You're running out of time to achieve your dreams, to fix your mistakes, to live the life you want. Your fear is your compass because it's reminding you that time is precious, that every moment is an opportunity to act. The truth is, you can't control time, but you can control what you do with it. Your fear of time is your compass because it's pointing you toward urgency, not panic, but purpose. What's one thing you've been putting off because you think you have time? The truth is, now is the only moment you're guaranteed. What's one step you can take today to make the most of it? Your fear is guiding you toward a life lived fully, without regrets. Your fear is your compass when it comes to authenticity. 2. Being your true self unapologetically, boldly, fully can feel terrifying because it means risking rejection. But your fear is your compass because it's showing you who you're meant to be. The truth is, the world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs you, your quirks, your passions, your unique perspective. These are your gifts. Your fear of being yourself is your compass because it's pointing you toward a life that's authentic and fulfilling. What's one way you've been hiding your true self? Maybe it's a talent you've downplayed, an opinion you've silenced, or a dream you've buried. Let your fear guide you toward authenticity today. Take one step to show the world who you are. The fear of responsibility is another compass point. Taking responsibility for your life, your choices, your mistakes. Your dreams can feel overwhelming because it means you're in the driver's seat. But your fear is your compass because it's pointing you toward empowerment. The truth is, you have the power to shape your life. No one else can do it for you. Your fear of responsibility is your compass because it's showing you where you need to step up. Think about a time you took responsibility for something hard, maybe admitting a mistake, making a tough decision, or owning your dreams. It was scary, but it made you stronger. What's one area of your life where you can take more responsibility today? Your fear is guiding you toward ownership, toward a life you create. Your fear is your compass when it comes to hope, too. Hope can feel scary because it means believing in something better, even when the odds seem stacked against you. But your fear is your compass because it's pointing you toward possibility. The truth is, hope isn't naive, it's courageous. It's the belief that tomorrow can be better than today, that you can grow, that you can make a difference. Your fear of hope is your compass because it's showing you where your faith needs to grow. What's one thing you're afraid to hope for? Maybe it's a better relationship, a fulfilling career, or a healthier world. Let your fear guide you toward hope today. Take one step to believe in what's possible. As we near the end of this journey, let's acknowledge the ultimate truth. Your fear is your compass because it's always guiding you toward growth. Every fear you face, failure, judgment, change, vulnerability, the unknown, is a signpost pointing you toward a bigger, bolder, more authentic life. The truth is, you don't overcome fear by eliminating it. You overcome it by moving through it. Every step you take, every fear you face, is a step toward the person you're meant to be. Your fear is your compass because it shows you where your courage lies, where your dreams are waiting, where your purpose lives. So, what's the fear you're facing right now? Name it. Let it guide you. Take one step today, one small, brave, imperfect step. Your fear is your compass, and it's pointing you toward a life that's yours to claim. This is your moment. Your fear is not a barrier, it's a beacon. It's lighting the way to a life of purpose, authenticity, and impact. Every fear you face is an opportunity to grow, to connect, to become more yourself. You don't have to face it all at once, but you do have to start. Your fear is your compass, and it's pointing you toward a life that's waiting for you to live it. So, go. Take the first step. The world is waiting for you to shine. The past has a way of lingering, doesn't it? It clings to you like a shadow, whispering memories of mistakes, regrets, or moments you wish you could rewrite. Maybe it's a failure that still stings, a relationship that broke your heart, or a choice you made that changed everything. You've carried these moments, letting them weigh you down, convincing yourself they define who you are. But here's the truth. The past is your teacher, not your prison. It's not a chain that binds you. It's a classroom that shaped you. Every lesson, every scar, every triumph is a stepping stone to the person you're becoming. The past doesn't own you, it equips you. It's time to stop letting it hold you captive and start seeing it as the guide that's leading you to a life of courage, purpose, and freedom. Let's walk through this together, because the past is ready to teach you how to build a future that lights you up. Think about your past for a moment, not with shame or regret, but with curiosity. What has it taught you? Maybe that heartbreak showed you how to set boundaries. Maybe that failure taught you resilience. Maybe that moment of joy reminded you what you're capable of feeling. The past is your teacher because every experience, good or bad, has left you with wisdom you didn't have before. The truth is, you're not the same person you were back then. You've grown, you've learned, you've survived. The past isn't a prison keeping you stuck, it's a foundation you're standing on. So, what's one lesson your past has taught you that you can use today? Maybe it's strength, patience or the courage to try again. That lesson is your teacher, and it's pointing you toward your next step. Let's talk about mistakes, because they're often the heaviest part of the past you carry. You might look back and cringe at a choice you made, a job you took, a word you said, a chance you didn't take. It's easy to let those mistakes feel like a life sentence, trapping you in guilt or self-doubt. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because mistakes are some of the best lessons you'll ever get. They show you what doesn't work, what you value, and how to do better next time. Think about a mistake you made that still haunts you. What did it teach you? Maybe it taught you to trust your gut, to communicate more clearly, or to take risks even when you're scared. The truth is, your mistakes don't define you, they refine you. What's one mistake you're ready to reframe as a lesson? Let it teach you, not trap you. Regret is another piece of the past that can feel like a cage. You might regret the things you didn't do, opportunities you passed up, words you didn't say, dreams you didn't chase. Or maybe you regret the things you did, hurting someone, missing a chance, or straying from your values. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because regret is a signal, not a sentence. It's telling you what matters to you, what you want to do differently, what you're ready to pursue now. The truth is, regret only becomes a prison if you let it stop you from acting today. Instead, let it be your teacher. Let it show you what you value and guide you toward choices that align with your heart. What's one regret you've been holding onto? How can you use it as a lesson to take action today? The past is teaching you what you want. Listen to it. The past can also feel like a prison when it's tied to pain. Maybe you've been through trauma, loss, or betrayal, and those wounds feel like they've marked you forever. It's hard to move forward when the past hurts so much. But here's the truth. The past is your teacher, not your prison, because even your pain has given you strength. You're still here, still standing, still breathing. That's not weakness, that's resilience. Your pain has taught you empathy, courage, and the ability to keep going even when life feels impossible. The truth is, you don't have to erase your pain to move forward. You just have to let it teach you. What's one way your pain has made you stronger? Maybe it's the compassion you now have for others or the determination to create a better future. Let that strength guide you today. Forgiveness is another lesson the past is ready to teach you, and it's one of the hardest. Maybe you're holding on to anger toward someone who hurt you, or toward yourself for choices you made. That anger feels justified, but it's also a chain keeping you stuck. The past is your teacher, not your prison, because forgiveness is the key to your freedom. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing what happened, it means releasing its hold on you. It means choosing to live for today, not yesterday. The truth is, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's a way to reclaim your power and make space for joy, love, and growth. Who do you need to forgive, someone else or yourself? What's one step you can take toward letting go? Maybe it's writing a letter you never sent, having a conversation, or simply choosing to release one piece of that anger. The past is teaching you how to be free. Listen to it. The past is also your teacher when it comes to your dreams. Think about the things you wanted when you were younger, maybe a career, a passion, a way of living. Life might have pulled you away from those dreams, and now they feel like relics of a different time. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because those dreams are still part of you. They're clues to what sets your soul on fire. The truth is, it's never too late to reconnect with your dreams. The past is teaching you what you love, what you're capable of, what you're meant to do. What's one dream from your past that still stirs something in you? What's one small step you can take to bring it back to life? The past isn't holding you back, it's reminding you what you're chasing. Let's talk about the people in your past, because they're some of your greatest teachers. The ones who loved you taught you how to open your heart. The ones who hurt you taught you how to set boundaries. The ones who believed in you taught you to believe in yourself. Even the ones who let you down taught you resilience and self-reliance. The past is your teacher, not your prison, because every relationship, every interaction has shaped who you are today. The truth is, you don't have to carry the weight of those relationships. You can carry the lessons instead. Think about someone from your past who impacted you deeply, for better or worse. What did they teach you? How can you use that lesson to build better relationships today? The past is guiding you toward connection, not confinement. The past can also teach you about resilience because you've already proven you have it. Think about the hardest moment in your life, the one that felt like it might break you. You're still here. You got through it. That's not luck, that's strength. The past is your teacher, not your prison. Because every challenge you faced has built muscles you didn't know you had. The truth is, you're stronger than you realize, and the past is proof of that. It's taught you how to keep going, how to adapt, how to find light in the darkness. What's one challenge you're facing now? How can the resilience you built in the past help you face it? The past is teaching you that you're unstoppable, believe it. Another lesson from the past is about time. Maybe you feel like you've wasted it. You're spent in the wrong job, the wrong relationship, the wrong mindset. That feeling can make the past seem like a prison, trapping you in regret. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because it's shown you how precious time is. Every moment you've lived has brought you to this one, and this moment is yours to use. The truth is, you can't change the past, but you can change what you do with now. The past is teaching you urgency, not to panic, but to act. What's one thing you've been putting off that you can start today? The past is reminding you that time is a gift. Don't let it slip away. The past is also your teacher when it comes to identity. Who you were back then, the choices you made, the roles you played might feel like they've locked you into a certain version of yourself. But the truth is, you're not that person anymore. The past is your teacher, not your prison, because it's shown you who you're not, so you can become who you are. Every experience has helped you shed layers that don't belong, revealing the authentic you underneath. The truth is, you're still becoming. The past isn't a cage, it's a map showing you where you've been so you can choose where you're going. Who do you want to be now? What's one step you can take to align with that person? The past is teaching you to embrace your evolution. Let's talk about fear, because the past often fuels it. Maybe you're afraid to try again because you failed before. Maybe you're scared to love again because you were hurt. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because fear is just a lesson you haven't fully learned yet. The truth is, fear doesn't mean stop, it means pay attention. The past has taught you how to face fear, how to move through it, how to grow from it. Think about a time you were afraid, but did it anyway. What happened? You survived, didn't you? Maybe you even thrived. The past is teaching you that fear is not your master, it's your guide. What's one fear you're ready to face today? Let the past lessons give you the courage to take that step. The past is your teacher when it comes to gratitude, too. It's easy to focus on what went wrong, but what about what went right? The moments of joy, the small victories, the people who lifted you up, they're part of your past, too. The past is your teacher, not your prison, because it's shown you what you're grateful for. What makes life worth living? Gratitude turns the past into a source of strength, not shame. The truth is, every good moment in your past is a reminder of what you're capable of creating again. What's one thing from your past you're grateful for? How can that gratitude inspire you today? The past is teaching you to see the beauty in your story, embrace it. The past also teaches you about purpose. Maybe you felt lost, unsure of why you're here or what you're meant to do. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because it's full of clues about your purpose. The moments when you felt most alive, the times you made a difference, the passions that lit you up, they're all part of your past, pointing you toward your calling. The truth is, your purpose doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be yours. The past is teaching you what sets your soul on fire. What's one thing from your past that made you feel purposeful? How can you bring that into your life today? The past is guiding you toward a life that feels meaningful. Let's address the idea of control, because the past can make you feel like you've lost it. You can't change what happened, and that lack of control can feel like a prison. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because it's taught you you can control your choices, your actions, your mindset. The truth is, you can't rewrite the past, but you can write your future. The past is teaching you to focus on what's in your power today. What's one choice you can make right now to shape your future? Maybe it's setting a goal, saying no to something that doesn't serve you, or taking a small step toward a dream. The past is teaching you that you're the author of your story. Start writing. The past is your teacher when it comes to hope, too. Maybe your past has been heavy, filled with loss or disappointment, and hope feels out of reach. But the past is your teacher, not your prison, because it's shown you that even in your darkest moments, you found a way to keep going. That's hope. The truth is, hope isn't about ignoring the past, it's about learning from it and believing in what's possible. The past has taught you that you can survive, adapt, and create something better. What's one thing you're hopeful for, even if it feels scary? Let the past lessons fuel that hope. Take one step toward it today. As we near the end of this journey, let's embrace the ultimate lesson. The past is your teacher, not your prison, because it's giving you everything you need to live fully now. Every experience, good, bad, joyful, painful, has equipped you with wisdom, strength, and courage. The past isn't a cage, it's a classroom. It's taught you who you are, what you value, and what you're capable of. The truth is, you don't have to be defined by your past, you can be inspired by it. You don't have to be trapped by it, you can be freed by it. What's one lesson from your past you're ready to embrace today? What's one step you can take to turn that lesson into action? The past is your teacher, and it's guiding you toward a life that's yours to create. This is your moment. The past is not your prison, it's your power. It's the foundation you're building on, the wisdom you're drawing from, the strength you're carrying forward. Every lesson it's taught you is a tool for creating a future that's bold, authentic, and full of purpose. You don't have to erase your past to move forward, you just have to learn from it. Take one step today, one small, brave, and perfect step. The past is your teacher, and it's ready to guide you to a life that's waiting for you to claim it. So go, right? The next chapter, the world is waiting for you to shine. There's a quiet voice inside you, isn't there? It whispers that you're not quite enough, not smart enough, not successful enough, not worthy enough. Maybe it's been there for years, fed by comparisons, rejections, or the weight of expectations you've carried from others or placed on yourself. You've been waiting for someone or something to tell you that you're okay, that you're enough, that you have permission to shine. But here's the truth that can set you free. You don't need permission to be enough. You already are. Your worth isn't something you earn or prove, it's something you claim right now. In this moment, you are enough, flaws, dreams, fears, and all. This is your invitation to stop waiting, to stop seeking validation, and to start living as the powerful, worthy person you've always been. Let's walk this journey together, because you don't need anyone's approval to step into a life that's yours to live. Let's start with the idea of worth, because it's at the heart of everything. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that your worth is tied to what you do, what you achieve, or what others think of you. Maybe it was a parent who pushed you to be perfect, a teacher who overlooked you, or a culture that told you to fit a certain mold. But the truth is, you don't need permission to be enough, because your worth is inherent. It's not based on your job title, your bank account, your appearance, or your mistakes. You are enough because you exist, because you're human, because you're here. The moment you accept this, you stop chasing external validation and start living from a place of inner strength. So, what's one way you've been measuring your worth by someone else's standards? Let that go today. You are enough, and you don't need anyone to sign off on that. Self-doubt is a thief, isn't it? It creeps in when you're about to take a risk, chase a dream, or step into something new. It tells you you're not ready, not qualified, not deserving. But you don't need permission to be enough, because self-doubt is just a story you've been telling yourself, a story you can rewrite. The truth is, everyone feels self-doubt, even the people you admire most. The difference is, they don't let it stop them, they act anyway, trusting that they're enough to figure it out as they go. You don't have to be perfect to start. You just have to show up. What's one dream you've held back from because you feel you're not enough? Imagine taking one small step toward it today, not because you're perfect, but because you're worthy. You don't need permission to try you're enough to begin. Let's talk about comparison, because it's one of the biggest traps keeping you from embracing your worth. You scroll through social media, see someone else's highlight reel, and suddenly you feel less than. Their success, their confidence, their life looks better, and you wonder why you don't measure up. But you don't need permission to be enough because your journey is yours alone. Comparison steals your joy and blinds you to your unique gifts. The truth is, no one else has your story, your perspective, your spark. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else, it needs you. Stop looking at others to define your worth and start celebrating what makes you, you. What's one thing you love about yourself? Your kindness, your creativity, your resilience. That's your strength, and it's enough. Let it shine today. The pressure to prove yourself can feel relentless. Maybe you feel like you have to earn love, respect, or success by constantly doing more, being more, achieving more. But you don't need permission to be enough because your worth isn't a transaction. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, not your family, not your friends, not the world. The truth is, the people who truly matter already see your worth, and the ones who don't were never meant to define you. You are enough just by being you, and that's a truth you get to live every day. What's one way you've been trying to prove your worth? Imagine letting that pressure go and acting from a place of confidence instead. You don't need to earn your place, you already belong. Let's address failure, because it's often what makes you feel like you're not enough. Maybe you tried something and it didn't work out, a job, a relationship, a dream, and now you're carrying that as proof of your inadequacy. But you don't need permission to be enough because failure doesn't diminish your worth, it adds to it. Every failure is a lesson, a chance to grow, a reminder that you're brave enough to try. The truth is, failure is part of every success story. The people who inspire you didn't get there by avoiding mistakes, they got there by learning from them. What's one failure you're still holding onto? Reframe it as a lesson that's made you stronger. You're enough, not despite your failures, but because of them. Let them guide you toward your next step. The past can also make you feel like you're not enough. Maybe you're carrying regrets, mistakes, or wounds that feel like they've marked you as less than. But you don't need permission to be enough because the past doesn't define you, it shapes you. Every experience, good or bad, has given you wisdom, resilience, and a story that's uniquely yours. The truth is, you're not the person you were back then. You've grown, you've learned, you've become more. Your past isn't a verdict, it's a teacher. What's one thing from your past you've been letting define your worth? Let it go and see it as a chapter, not the whole book. You're enough today, and you don't need anyone's approval to move forward. Let's talk about vulnerability, because it's scary to show up as your true self. You might worry that if people see the real you, flaws, fears, and all, they'll think you're not enough. But you don't need permission to be enough because vulnerability is your superpower. It's what makes you human, relatable, and real. The truth is, the people who matter will love you for your authenticity, not your perfection. When you show up as yourself, you give others permission to do the same. What's one way you've been hiding your true self out of fear? Try showing up authentically today. Maybe it's sharing a feeling, admitting a struggle, or expressing a dream. You're enough, and your vulnerability is proof of your strength. Society loves to tell you who you should be, what you should look like, how you should live, what success should mean. It's a constant barrage of messages saying you need to be more, do more, have more to be enough. But you don't need permission to be enough because society's standards are not your truth. The truth is, you get to define what enough means for you. Maybe it's a life of simplicity, creativity, or impact. Maybe it's showing up with love, integrity, or courage. You don't have to fit anyone else's mold. You're enough as you are. What's one societal expectation you've been trying to meet? Let it go and define your own version of enough. You have the power to choose what matters to you. Let's talk about love, because it's at the core of feeling enough. You might think you need to earn love by being perfect, successful, or pleasing others, but you don't need permission to be enough because love starts with you. Self-love isn't selfish. It's essential. When you love yourself, you show up differently, you take risks, set boundaries, and chase dreams. The truth is, you're worthy of love right now, exactly as you are. And when you believe that, you attract relationships that reflect your worth. What's one way you can show yourself love today? Maybe it's resting, saying no to something that drains you, or celebrating a small win. You're enough, and loving yourself is the foundation of a life well lived. The fear of not being enough often shows up when you're about to take a big step. Maybe you're thinking about starting a business, pursuing a passion, or making a life change, and that voice creeps in, saying, "Who are you to do this?" But you don't need permission to be enough, because that voice is just fear trying to keep you safe. The truth is, you don't need to be anyone other than who you are to start. You're enough to try, to learn, to grow. Every great journey begins with a single, imperfect step. What's one big step you've been hesitating to take because you feel you're not enough? Take it anyway. You're enough to begin, and the rest will follow. Let's address the idea of perfection, because it's a myth that keeps you stuck. You might think you need to be perfect to be enough. Perfect body, perfect career, perfect life. But you don't need permission to be enough, because perfection is an illusion. The truth is, your imperfections make you human, relatable, and real. They're part of what makes you, you. The people who inspire you aren't perfect, they're brave. They show up, flaws and all, and keep going. What's one imperfection you've been judging yourself for? Embrace it today as part of your unique beauty. You're enough, not despite your flaws, but because of them. The people around you can sometimes make you feel like you're not enough. Maybe it's a friend who criticizes, a boss who overlooks you, or a loved one who doesn't see your worth. But you don't need permission to be enough, because their opinions don't define your actions do. The truth is, you can't control what others think, but you can control how you show up. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who see your worth, who remind you that you're enough. And if someone doesn't see that, it's their loss, not your failure. What's one relationship where you've been seeking validation? Shift your focus to showing up as your authentic self. You're enough, and the right people will see that. Let's talk about time, because it can feel like you're running out of it. Maybe you think you've missed your chance to be enough, that you're too old, too late, or too far behind. But you don't need permission to be enough, because time doesn't determine your worth. The truth is, it's never too late to start, to grow, to chase your dreams. Every moment is a fresh opportunity to claim your worth and act on it. Think about someone who started late and still made an impact. Maybe a writer who published their first book at 60, or a person who found their passion later in life. You're enough right now, and this moment is yours to seize. What's one thing you've been putting off because you think it's too late? Start today. You're enough to begin. Your purpose is another area where you might feel like you're not enough. Maybe you're searching for your calling, wondering if you're doing what you're meant to do. But you don't need permission to be enough, because your purpose is already within you. The truth is, purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as living with kindness, creating something meaningful, or making a difference in one person's life. You're enough to live your purpose right now, even if it's still unfolding. What's one thing that makes you feel alive, that feels like it's part of your purpose? Lean into that today, even in a small way. You're enough to make a difference, just as you are. Let's talk about action, because believing you're enough is only the beginning. You have to live it. You might be waiting for the perfect moment, the right skills, or someone to give you the go-ahead, but you don't need permission to be enough, because action is how you claim your worth. The truth is, every step you take, no matter how small, is a declaration that you're enough. It's not about being fearless or flawless, it's about showing up. What's one action you can take today to live as if you're enough? Maybe it's applying for that job, starting that project, or saying yes to an opportunity. You're enough to act, and every step proves it. The fear of judgment is another hurdle. You might worry that if you step out and claim your worth, others will criticize or reject you. But you don't need permission to be enough, because judgment is just noise. It's not your truth. The truth is, The people who judge you are often wrestling with their own insecurities. The ones who matter will celebrate you for being you. When you live as if you're enough, you inspire others to do the same. What's one thing you've held back from doing because you're afraid of judgment? Do it anyway. You're enough, and your courage will light the way for others. Let's talk about gratitude, because it's a powerful way to embrace your enoughness. When you focus on what you lack, it's easy to feel like you're not enough. But when you practice gratitude, you see how much you already have: your strengths, your experiences, your heart. You don't need permission to be enough because gratitude reminds you of your abundance. The truth is, you have so much to offer, so much to be thankful for. What's one thing you're grateful for about yourself? Maybe it's your persistence, your sense of humor, or your ability to care. Let that gratitude fuel your confidence today. You're enough, and gratitude helps you see it. The journey to believing you're enough is also about forgiveness. Maybe you're holding on to mistakes or regrets that make you feel unworthy. But you don't need permission to be enough because forgiveness is your right. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean excusing your actions, it means freeing yourself to move forward. The truth is, you're human and humans make mistakes. Those mistakes don't make you less, they make you real. What's one thing you need to forgive yourself for? Take a moment to let it go, to remind yourself that you're enough, even with your imperfections. Forgiveness is how you set yourself free. As we near the end of this journey, let's embrace the ultimate truth. You don't need permission to be enough because you already are. Your worth is not a question, it's a fact. You're enough to chase your dreams, to love deeply, to live boldly. You're enough to make mistakes, to grow, to start again. The truth is, the life you want is waiting for you to claim it, and you don't need anyone's approval to start. What's one thing you're ready to do as someone who's enough? Name it, act on it, live it. You're enough, and the world is waiting for you to shine. This is your moment. You don't need permission to be enough because your worth is already yours. It's in your heart, your story, your courage. Every step you take from this truth is a step toward a life that's authentic, purposeful, and free. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you you're ready now. Take one step today, one brave, imperfect, beautiful step. You are enough, and that's the power that will carry you forward. So, go. Live as if you're enough, because you are. Life can feel like a mountain sometimes, can't it? You stand at the base, staring up at the towering peak of your dreams, your goals, or even just the person you want to become, and it feels overwhelming. The distance between where you are and where you want to be seems impossible, filled with obstacles, doubts, and what-ifs. But here's the truth that can set you free. The next step is all that matters. You don't have to conquer the whole mountain today, you just have to take one step, one small, brave, and perfect move forward. That step is your power, your momentum, your way out of being stuck. The next step is all that matters because it's the bridge between where you are and where you're going. Let's walk this path together, because every step you take is proof that you're creating the life you're meant to live. Think about where you are right now. Maybe you're feeling stuck, unsure, or weighed down by the enormity of what you want to achieve. Maybe it's a career change, a personal transformation, or a dream you've tucked away for too long. The weight of the big picture can paralyze you, making you think you need to have it all figured out before you start. But the next step is all that matters because it's the only thing you can control. You don't need to know every turn in the path, you just need to move your feet. The truth is, every great journey, every success story, every life changed started with one step. What's the next step you can take today? It doesn't have to be grand, just something that moves you forward. That's where your power lies. Fear is often the loudest voice when you think about taking that next step. It whispers that you're not ready, that you'll fail, that it's too risky. But the next step is all that matters because fear only has power when you let it stop you. The truth is, fear doesn't mean you're on the wrong path, it means you're on the edge of growth. Every time you've grown, every time you've achieved something meaningful, it was because you took a step despite fear. Think about a time you were scared but moved forward anyway. Maybe it was a conversation, a decision, or a leap of faith. What happened? You survived, didn't you? Maybe you even thrived. The next step is all that matters because it's how you prove to yourself that fear is not your boss. What's one small step you can take today to face your fear? Let it be your guide, not your roadblock. Let's talk about overwhelm, because it's one of the biggest reasons we avoid taking the next step. The goal feels too big, the to-do list too long, the stakes too high. You might think you need to solve everything at once, fix your habits, master your skills, map out your entire future. But the next step is all that matters because it breaks the impossible into the possible. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today, you just have to take one step. The truth is, progress is made in small, consistent actions, not in giant leaps. Think about a time you accomplished something big. Was it one dramatic moment or a series of small steps that added up? What's one small, manageable step you can take today toward your goal? Focus on that and let the rest unfold. The past can also hold you back from taking the next step. Maybe you're carrying regrets, failures, or moments that make you question your worth. You might think, I've messed up before, so why try again? But the next step is all that matters because the past doesn't dictate your future, it informs it. Every mistake, every setback has taught you something valuable. The truth is, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. Your past has given you wisdom, resilience, and strength to take the next step. What's one lesson from your past that can help you move forward today? Let it be a teacher, not a chain. The next step is all that matters because it's your chance to write a new chapter. Perfectionism is another trap that keeps you from moving forward. You might think you need to have the perfect plan, the perfect skills, or the perfect timing before you take the next step. But the next step is all that matters because perfection is a myth. Waiting for everything to be just right is just another way of staying stuck. The truth is, every great achievement is built on imperfect steps. The people you admire didn't wait for perfection, they started messy, learned as they went, and kept moving. What's one step you've been delaying? Because it doesn't feel perfect? Take it anyway. It's not about being flawless, it's about being brave. The next step is all that matters because it's how you grow into the person you're meant to be. Let's talk about doubt, because it's a shadow that follows you when you think about taking the next step. That voice in your head says, you're not enough, or you don't have what it takes. But the next step is all that matters because doubt is just a test of your courage. The truth is, you don't need to silence doubt to move forward, you just need to act despite it. Every time you take a step, you prove that voice wrong. You show yourself that you're capable, that you're enough. Think about a time you doubted yourself but took action anyway. What did you learn? You're stronger than your doubts. What's one small step you can take today to challenge that voice? The next step is all that matters because it's how you build belief in yourself. The opinions of others can also make the next step feel daunting. Maybe you're worried about what people will think if you try something new, take a risk, or step out of your comfort zone. But the next step is all that matters because other people's opinions don't define your path, you do. The truth is, the people who matter will support you, and the ones who don't were never meant to guide your journey. You don't need everyone's approval to move forward, you just need your own. What's one step you've been hesitating to take because you're afraid of judgment? Take it for yourself, not for them. The next step is all that matters because it's your declaration of independence. Let's address time because it's easy to feel like you're running out of it. Maybe you think you missed your chance, that it's too late to start, to change, to chase your dreams. But the next step is all that matters because now is the only moment you have. The truth is, it's never too late to take a step toward the life you want. Every moment is a fresh opportunity to begin. Think about someone who started late and still made an impact, a writer who published their first book at 60, an athlete who found their stride later in life. What's one step you've been putting off because you think time has passed you by? Take it today. The next step is all that matters because it's how you make now count. The next step is also about purpose. Maybe you're searching for your calling, wondering what you're meant to do. It can feel overwhelming to figure out your life's purpose all at once. But the next step is all that matters because purpose unfolds one action at a time. The truth is, your purpose doesn't have to be a grand mission. It can be as simple as doing what lights you up, helping someone, or living with integrity. Every step you take toward what feels meaningful is a step toward your purpose. What's one thing that makes you feel alive, even if it's small? Take a step toward it today. The next step is all that matters because it's how you discover who you're meant to be. Let's talk about momentum because that's what the next step creates. One step leads to another, and soon you're moving in a direction you never thought possible. It's easy to underestimate the power of small actions, but the next step is all that matters because it builds the path as you go. The truth is, you don't need to see the whole road, you just need to keep moving. Think about a time you started something small, like a habit, a project, or a conversation. Didn't it lead to something bigger? That's the magic of the next step. What's one small action you can take today that could spark momentum? The next step is all that matters because it's how you turn dreams into reality. The next step is also about letting go. Maybe you're holding on to something that's keeping you stuck in old belief, a toxic relationship, a fear of change. It's hard to move forward when you're carrying that weight. But the next step is all that matters because it's how you free yourself. The truth is, letting go doesn't mean losing, it means making space for something better. What's one thing you need to release to take the next step? Maybe it's a grudge, a self-limiting belief, or a habit that no longer serves you. Take a step toward letting it go today. The next step is all that matters because it's how you create room for growth. Let's talk about courage because every next step requires it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the choice to act. Anyway, you might think you need to feel confident or certain before you move forward. But the next step is all that matters because courage is built in the doing. The truth is, every brave person you admire became brave by taking steps they were scared to take. Think about a time you were courageous, even in a small way. What did it teach you? You're capable of more than you think. What's one courageous step you can take today? It doesn't have to be huge, just enough to remind you of your strength. The next step is all that matters because it's how you become the person you're meant to be. The next step is also about trusting yourself in the process, in the journey. You might not know where the path leads, and that uncertainty can make you hesitate. But the next step is all that matters because trust is what keeps you moving. The truth is, you don't need to see the whole picture to take action, you just need to trust that each step will lead you closer to where you're meant to go. Think about a time you trusted yourself and took a chance. Where did it lead you? What's one step you can take today to trust your instincts? The next step is all that matters because it's how you build faith in yourself. Let's address failure because it's often what stops you from taking the next step. You might be afraid that if you try and fail, it will prove you're not enough, but the next step is all that matters because failure is not the end, it's part of the journey. The truth is, every failure is a lesson, a chance to grow, a step closer to success. The people who inspire you didn't avoid failure, they learned from it. What's one failure you're afraid of? Now, what's one small step you can take toward your goal despite that fear? The next step is all that matters because it's how you turn setbacks into stepping stones. The next step is also about presence. It's easy to get lost in the past or worry about the future. But the next step is all that matters because it keeps you grounded in the now. The truth is, the present moment is where your power lies. It's where you make choices, take action, and shape your life. What's one thing you can do right now to be fully present and take a step forward? Maybe it's writing down a goal, making a phone call, or simply taking a deep breath and deciding to start. The next step is all that matters because it's how you live fully in this moment. Let's talk about self-worth because it's at the core of every next step. You might think you need to be more skilled, more confident, more worthy before you can act. But the next step is all that matters because you're already enough to take it. The truth is, your worth isn't tied to your achievements or your perfection, it's inherent. Every step you take is a reminder that you're capable, that you're worthy, that you're enough. What's one step you can take today to affirm your worth? The next step is all that matters because it's how you claim your power. The next step is also about connection. Sometimes, the step you need to take is toward someone else reaching out, asking for help, or sharing your dreams. It's scary to be vulnerable, but the next step is all that matters because connection is what makes life richer. The truth is, you don't have to do this alone. The people who matter want to see you succeed, and they're waiting for you to let them in. What's one step you can take today to connect with someone who supports you? The next step is all that matters because it's how you build relationships that lift you up. As we near the end of this journey, let's embrace the ultimate truth. The next step is all that matters because it's the key to everything you want. Every dream, every goal, every version of yourself you're striving to become is reached one step at a time. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be fearless, perfect, or certain. You just need to take the next step. What's the next step you're ready to take right now? Name it. Do it. The next step is all that matters because it's how you turn possibilities into realities. This is your moment. The next step is all that matters because it's your power, your freedom, your way forward. Every step you take is a declaration that you're enough, that you're capable, that you're on your way. You don't have to conquer the mountain today, just take one step. The path will unfold, and you'll be amazed at where it leads. So go, take the next step. The life you're meant to live is waiting, one brave, beautiful step at a time. There's a voice in your head, isn't there? It's quiet but persistent, whispering that you're not enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not ready to chase the life you want. It tells you to wait, to play it safe, to stay small because you might fail or fall short. That voice feels like truth, doesn't it? But here's the real truth. Your doubts are lying to you. They're not a reflection of your worth or your potential. They're just stories you've let take root, stories you can rewrite. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are ready right now to take the next step toward a life that lights you up. Your doubts are lying to you, and it's time to call them out, silence them with action, and step into the truth of who you are. Let's walk this journey together, because you're stronger than the lies your doubts tell you, and the life you're meant to live is waiting. Let's start with where doubt comes from, because understanding it is the first step to dismantling it. Doubt often grows from past experiences, maybe a failure, a rejection, or a moment when someone made you feel less than. It's fed by comparison, by the pressure to be perfect, by a world that tells you you need to prove yourself to be worthy. But your doubts are lying to you because they're not based on fact, they're based on fear. They're a defense mechanism, trying to keep you safe from the unknown. The truth is, you don't have to be fearless to move forward, you just have to be braver than your doubts. Think about a time when doubt held you back. Did it protect you, or did it keep you from something you wanted? Your doubts are lying to you, and the truth is that you're capable of more than they let you believe. What's one doubt you're ready to challenge today? Doubt loves to masquerade as truth, especially when you're about to take a risk. Maybe you're thinking about starting a new project, changing careers, or speaking your truth, and that voice creeps in, saying, you're not ready, or you don't have what it takes. But your doubts are lying to you because readiness isn't a prerequisite for action, it's a result of it. The truth is, no one is ever fully ready before they start. The people you admire, the ones who've achieved great things, didn't wait for doubt to disappear, they acted despite it. They learned, grew, and figured it out along the way. You can too. What's one step you've been hesitating to take because you feel unready? Take it anyway. Your doubts are lying to you, and the truth is that action is how to prove them wrong. Let's talk about failure, because it's one of the biggest lies doubt tells you. It says, if you try and fail, it proves you're not enough. But your doubts are lying to you because failure isn't a verdict, it's a teacher. Every stumble, every setback is a lesson that makes you stronger, wiser, and better prepared for what's next. The truth is, failure is part of every success story. Think about someone you admire. Did they succeed without ever failing? No, they failed, learned, and kept going. Your doubts are lying to you when they say failure defines you. It doesn't, it refines you. What's one failure you're afraid of? Reframe it as a lesson waiting to happen. Take one small step toward your goal today, knowing that even if you stumble, you're still moving forward. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're resilient. Comparison is another lie doubt loves to spin. You look at someone else's success, their confidence, their seemingly perfect life, and you think, I'll never measure up. But your doubts are lying to you because comparison is a distorted mirror. It shows you someone else's highlight reel while hiding their struggles, insecurities, and failures. The truth is, your journey is yours alone. No one else has your story, your strengths, your unique spark. The world doesn't need another version of them, it needs you. Stop measuring yourself against others and start celebrating what makes you unique. What's one thing you love about yourself? Your creativity, your kindness, your grit. That's your truth, and it's more powerful than any lie doubt tells you. Let it guide you to take one step today. Your doubts are lying to you when they say you need to be perfect to be worthy. Maybe you're holding back because you think you need to have it all figured out. The perfect plan, the perfect skills, the perfect moment. But perfection is a myth. And your doubts are lying to you because they're keeping you stuck in a cycle of waiting. The truth is, progress trumps perfection every time. You don't need to be flawless to start, you just need to be willing. The people who inspire you aren't perfect. They're persistent. They took messy, imperfect steps and learned as they went. What's one thing you've been delaying because it doesn't feel perfect? Do it imperfectly today. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is that your willingness to try is enough. Let's talk about the lie that you're not enough. It's the deepest, most insidious doubt of all. The one that says you're lacking something essential, that you're not smart enough, talented enough, or deserving enough to chase your dreams. But your doubts are lying to you because your worth is inherent. You don't have to earn it, prove it, or get permission for it. You are enough right now, exactly as you are. The truth is, your value isn't tied to your achievements, your appearance, or what others think of you. It's in your heart, your courage, your existence. What's one way you've been doubting your worth? Challenge that lie today by taking one action that affirms you're enough. Maybe it's speaking up, trying something new, or simply saying, I'm enough. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're ready to shine. The past is another source of doubts, lies. Maybe you're carrying mistakes, regrets, or failures that make you question your ability to succeed. Your doubts tell you that because you messed up before. You'll mess up again, but your doubts are lying to you. Because the past doesn't define your future, it equips it. Every experience has given you wisdom, strength, and resilience. The truth is, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. Think about a past moment that makes you doubt yourself. What did it teach you? How has it made you stronger? Use that lesson to take one step forward today. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is that your past has prepared you for what's next. Your doubts are lying to you when they say you need approval from others to move forward. Maybe you're waiting for someone to validate your dreams, to tell you you're capable, to give you permission to try. But the truth is, the only approval you need is your own. Your doubts are lying because they make you think other people's opinions determine your path. The truth is, the people who matter will support you, and the ones who don't were never meant to guide you. You are enough to decide your own worth, to chase your own dreams. What's one step you've been hesitant to take because you're seeking validation? Take it for yourself today. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're the author of your story. Let's talk about time, because doubt often tells you it's too late. Maybe you think you've missed your chance, that you're too old, too far behind, or too stuck to start. But your doubts are lying to you because time doesn't run out on your potential. The truth is, every moment is a fresh opportunity to begin. People have started over, chased dreams, and transformed their lives at every age and stage. Your doubts are lying when they say you're out of time. They're just trying to keep you from acting. What's one thing you've been putting off because you think it's too late? Take one small step toward it today. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is now is your moment. Your doubts are lying to you when they say you're alone in this. Doubt loves to isolate you, making you feel like you're the only one struggling, the only one who's unsure. But the truth is, everyone wrestles with doubt, even the most confident, successful people you know. Your doubts are lying because they want you to believe you're not enough to ask for help or connect with others. The truth is, vulnerability is your strength. Reaching out, sharing your dreams, or asking for support doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. What's one way you can connect with someone today? Maybe a friend, a mentor, or a community. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're surrounded by people who want to see you succeed. Let's address the lie that your dreams are too big. Doubt tells you that your goals are unrealistic, that you're reaching too high, that you should settle for less. But your doubts are lying to you because your dreams are a reflection of your potential. The truth is, the size of your dreams is a sign of your capacity to grow. Big dreams don't mean you're delusional, they mean you're daring to imagine a life that's bigger than your doubts. Break that dream down into one small step you can take today. What's one action that moves you closer to that vision? Your doubts are lying, and the truth is your dreams are within reach, one step at a time. Your doubts are lying to you when they say you need to know everything before you start. Maybe you're hesitating because you don't have all the answers, the skills, or the plan. But the truth is, you don't need to know it all, you just need to start. Your doubts are lying because they want you to believe you're not capable of learning as you go. The truth is, every expert, every leader, every creator started as a beginner. They figured it out by taking action, making mistakes, and growing through experience. What's one thing you've been delaying because you don't feel ready? Take one step toward it today, trusting that you'll learn along the way. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're capable of figuring it out. Let's talk about the lie that you're not making progress. Doubt loves to point out how far you are from your goal, making you feel like you're stuck or failing. But your doubts are lying to you because progress isn't always loud or obvious, it's often quiet, small, and steady. The truth is, every step you take, no matter how tiny, is moving you forward. Think about a time you felt like you weren't getting anywhere, but looking back, you see how far you've come. That's the truth. What's one small sign of progress you can celebrate today? Maybe it's a habit you've started, a lesson you've learned, or a moment of courage. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're on your way. Your doubts are lying to you when they say you're defined by your circumstances. Maybe you're facing challenges, financial struggles, health issues, or a tough environment that make you feel like your dreams are out of reach. But the truth is, your circumstances don't determine your potential, you do. Your doubts are lying because they want you to believe you're powerless. The truth is, you have the power to take one step, no matter your situation. History is full of people who overcame incredible odds by focusing on what they could control. What's one small step you can take today, despite your circumstances? Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're stronger than your challenges. Let's address the lie that you need to be someone else to succeed. Doubt tells you to change who you are, to be more like someone else, to fit a mold, to hide your quirks. But your doubts are lying to you because your uniqueness is your strength. The truth is, the world needs your authentic self, your perspective, your passion, your story. Trying to be someone else only dims your light. What's one way you've been hiding your true self to fit in? Embrace that part of you today and take one step as your authentic self. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're enough exactly as you are. Your doubts are lying to you when they say you're not making a difference. Maybe you feel like your efforts are too small, too insignificant to matter. But the truth is, every action you take has a ripple effect. The kind word, the small step, the quiet courage, it all matters. Your doubts are lying because they want you to believe your impact is invisible. The truth is, you're changing the world in ways you may not even see yet. What's one way you've made a difference, even in a small way? Build on that today with one intentional action. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is your life matters. As we near the end of this journey, let's embrace the ultimate truth. Your doubts are lying to you because you are more than enough. You're capable of chasing your dreams, overcoming your fears, and creating a life that's true to you. Your doubts are lying because they're rooted in fear, not fact. The truth is, you have everything you need to take the next step: courage, resilience, and a spark that's uniquely yours. What's one that you're ready to call out today? Name it, challenge it, and take one action to prove it wrong. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're ready to live boldly. This is your moment. Your doubts are lying to you, but you don't have to listen. They're not your truth, they're just noise. You're capable, you're worthy, and you're ready to step into the life you're meant to live. Every doubt you challenge, every step you take, is a victory over the lies that try to hold you back. So, go. Take one step today, one brave and perfect, powerful step. Your doubts are lying, and the truth is you're unstoppable. The world is waiting for you to shine. Failure. The word alone can make your stomach drop, your heart race, or your mind spiral into doubt. Maybe you've tasted a dream that didn't pan out, a risk that fell flat, a moment when you gave your all and still came up short. It stings, it humbles, and it can feel like a verdict on your worth. But here's the truth that can change everything. Failure is feedback, not defeat. It's not the end of your story. It's a chapter that's teaching you how to write the next one. Every stumble, every setback is a lesson, a guide, a nudge toward a better path. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's showing you what works, what doesn't, and who you're becoming in the process. Let's walk this journey together, because the failures you feared are the very tools that will lead you to a life of purpose, resilience, and triumph. Let's start by redefining failure, because the way you see it shapes how you move forward. Society tells us failure is a dead end, a sign you're not good enough, a reason to give up. But that's a lie. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because every time you fall short, you gain insight you didn't have before. Think about a time you failed, maybe a project that flopped, a relationship that ended, or a goal you didn't reach. What did it teach you? Maybe it showed you a skill you need to develop, a boundary you need to set, or a dream worth fighting for. The truth is, failure is a teacher, not a judge. It's not here to condemn you, it's here to guide you. What's one failure you've been carrying as a weight? Reframe it today as feedback. What lesson is it offering you? Fear of failure is one of the biggest barriers to taking action. That voice in your head says, what if you try and it doesn't work? What if you look foolish? What if you waste your time? But failure is feedback, not defeat, because the only real failure is not trying at all. The truth is, every successful person you admire has failed, often spectacularly. They didn't succeed because they avoided failure. They succeeded because they used it as a roadmap. Think about someone whose success inspires you. Did they get there without setbacks? No. They failed, learned, and kept going. Your fear is valid, but it's not your truth. What's one step you've been avoiding because you're afraid of failing? Take it today, knowing that whatever happens, it's feedback, not defeat. That step is your power. Let's talk about the sting of failure, because it's real. When you put your heart into something and it doesn't work out, it hurts. Maybe you launched a business that didn't take off, or you poured yourself into a creative project that went unnoticed. That pain can make you want to retreat, to swear off trying again. But failure is feedback, not defeat, because that pain is proof you care deeply, and caring is the fuel for growth. The truth is, the sting of failure is temporary, but the lessons it leaves are lasting. What's one failure that still hurts? Allow yourself to feel it, but then ask, what did it teach you? Maybe it's resilience, clarity, or the courage to try again. Use that feedback to take one small step forward today. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's shaping you into someone stronger. Perfectionism often fuels the fear of failure. You might think you need to get it right the first time, that anything less than perfect is failure. But failure is feedback, not defeat, because perfection is an illusion that keeps you stuck. The truth is, every great achievement is built on imperfect attempts. The book you love, the business you admire, the art that moves you, all of it started with messy, flawed first steps. The people who created those things didn't wait for perfection. They acted, failed, learned, and improved. What's one thing you've been delaying because you're afraid it won't be perfect? Start it today. Even if it's messy, failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's how you refine your craft and grow into your potential. Let's address the lie that failure defines you. Maybe you failed at something and now you carry it like a label. I'm the one who failed, or I'm not cut out for this. But failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's not who you are, it's just something you experienced. The truth is, your worth is not tied to your successes or your failures. You are enough, regardless of the outcome. Think about a time you failed and thought it defined you. Did it? Or did it lead you to new insights, new strengths, new paths? You're not your failures, you're the person who keeps going. What's one failure you've let define you? Let it go today and take one step toward a new goal. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's helping you become who you're meant to be. The past is often where failure feels heaviest. Maybe you're carrying a string of setbacks that make you doubt your ability to succeed. But failure is feedback, not defeat, because the past doesn't dictate your future, it informs it. Every failure in your past has given you wisdom, resilience, and a clearer sense of what you want. The truth is, you're not starting from zero, you're starting from experience. Think about a past failure that still lingers in your mind. What did it teach you? Maybe it's patience, persistence, or the importance of asking for help. Use that lesson to take one step forward today. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because your past is a classroom, not a prison. Let's talk about rejection, because it's a form of failure that cuts deep. Maybe you were turned down for a job, a relationship, or an opportunity, and it made you question your worth. But failure is feedback, not defeat, because rejection is not a judgment of your value, it's a redirection. The truth is, rejection often saves you from paths that aren't meant for you and points you toward ones that are. Think about a time you were rejected. Did it lead you to something better, even if it took time to see it? What's one rejection you're still carrying? Reframe it as feedback today. What did it show you about your path? Take one step toward a new opportunity, knowing that failure is feedback, not defeat. Your failures are also feedback about what matters to you. When you fail at something you care about, a dream, a passion, a goal, it hurts because it's tied to your heart. But failure is feedback, not defeat, because that pain is a sign you're chasing something meaningful. The truth is, the things worth having are worth failing for. Your failures show you what lights you up, what you're willing to fight for, what you're meant to do. What's one failure that hurt because it mattered so much? That's your compass, pointing you toward your purpose. Take one step today toward something that sets your soul on fire. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's guiding you to what's truly yours. Let's talk about resilience, because failure is one of its greatest teachers. Every time you've failed, you've gotten back up, haven't you? Maybe it took time, maybe it was messy, but you're still here. That's not luck, that's strength. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because every setback builds muscles you didn't know you had. The truth is, you're tougher than you realize, and your failures are proof of that. Think about a time you bounced back from a failure. What strength did you discover? Use that resilience to take one step forward today, no matter how small. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's forged you into someone who can handle anything. Doubt often partners with failure to keep you stuck. After a setback, that voice in your head says, "See, you're not cut out for this." But failure is feedback, not defeat, because doubt is just a story, not the truth. The truth is, every failure makes you better equipped for the next try. You're not less capable because you failed, you're more capable because you learned. What's one doubt that's been amplified by a past failure? Challenge it today by taking one action that proves it wrong. Maybe it's trying again, asking for feedback, or learning a new skill. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's how you silence doubt with action. Let's address the fear of judgment. Because failure often comes with the worry of what others will think. Maybe you're afraid to try again because you don't want to look foolish or disappoint someone. But failure is feedback, not defeat. Because other people's opinions don't define your journey, you do. The truth is, the people who matter will cheer you on, and the ones who judge were never meant to guide you. Failure teaches you who's in your corner and who isn't. What's one step you've avoided because you're worried about judgment? Take it today for yourself, not for them. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's showing you who you're living for. Failure is also feedback about your approach. Sometimes, a setback shows you that your strategy, timing, or perspective needs tweaking. That's not defeat, it's data. The truth is, failure gives you the information you need to adjust and improve. Think about a time you failed, but later realized it showed you a better way. Maybe you learned to communicate differently, plan more thoroughly, or trust your instincts. What's one failure that's pointing you toward a new approach? Use that feedback to take one step today with a fresh perspective. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's helping you refine your path. Let's talk about time, because failure can make you feel like you've wasted it. Maybe you think it failed. Attempts set you back, that you're running out of time to achieve your dreams. But failure is feedback, not defeat, because time spent learning is never wasted. The truth is, every failure moves you closer to your goal by teaching you what doesn't work. You're not behind, you're better prepared. What's one failure that feels like lost time? See it as an investment in your growth instead. Take one step today toward your dream, knowing that every failure has brought you closer. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's part of the timeline of your success. Failure is also feedback about your courage. Every time you try something and fall short, you're proving you're brave enough to take risks. That's not defeat, that's strength. The truth is, the act of trying, even if it leads to failure, is a victory in itself. You're showing up, daring to dream, refusing to stay small. Think about a time you took a risk, even if it didn't work out. Didn't it make you feel alive, even for a moment? What's one courageous step you can take today, knowing that the outcome doesn't define you? Failure is feedback, not defeat. Because it's proof you're living boldly, your failures are also feedback about your purpose. When you fail at something that matters to you, it's a sign you're chasing something aligned with your heart. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's showing you what you're willing to fight for. The truth is, your purpose often reveals itself in the things you're willing to fail at, the dreams that keep pulling you back. What's one failure that's tied to something you deeply care about? Let it guide you toward your purpose. Take one step today toward that dream, knowing it's worth the risk. Failure is feedback, not defeat, because it's pointing you toward your calling. Let's talk about growth, because failure is one of its greatest catalysts. Every time you fail, you're stretched, challenged, and pushed to become more than you were. Failure, life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy, pain, triumph, and loss. Each of us carries a story, a unique collection of moments that shape who we are. But if you look closely at the fabric of your life, you'll notice something remarkable. The most vibrant, enduring parts of your story are often the ones marked by scars. These scars, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, are not signs of weakness or failure. They are badges of survival, proof that you have faced the storms of life and emerged stronger. Today, I want to talk to you about the strength in your scars, the power they hold, and how they can light the way to a future filled with purpose, courage, and hope. This is not just a message about surviving. It's about thriving, about turning your wounds into wisdom and your pain into power. Let's begin by acknowledging something universal. No one escapes life unscathed. From the moment we take our first breath, we are thrust into a world that is both beautiful and brutal. We fall, we fail, we hurt, and we break. Some of us carry visible scars, marks on our skin that tell stories of accidents, surgeries, or battles fought. Others bear invisible scars, etched deep within our hearts and minds, wounds from betrayal, loss, rejection, or self-doubt. These scars, seen or unseen, are part of what makes us human, but too often we hide them. We cover them up, ashamed of what they represent, fearing they make us less worthy, less lovable, less whole. What if I told you that your scars are not flaws to be hidden, but treasures to be embraced? What if your scars are the very things that make you extraordinary? Think about a tree in the forest, one that stood for decades, maybe even centuries. Its bark is rough, marked by gashes from lightning strikes, scratches from animals, or cuts from human hands. Yet that tree stands tall, its roots digging deeper because of the storms it's weathered. Its scars don't diminish its strength. They add to it. They tell a story of resilience, of a life that refused to fall. You are that tree. Every scar you carry is a testament to a moment when you could have given up but didn't. You may have been struck by the lightning of loss, scratched by the claws of betrayal, or cut by the sharp edges of failure, but you're still here. You're still standing, and that, my friend, is where your strength lies. Let's talk about what scars really are. They're not just reminders of pain, they're evidence of healing. When your body is wounded, it doesn't stay broken. It works tirelessly to repair itself, knitting tissue back together, creating a scar to seal the wound. Your heart and mind work the same way. When life breaks you open, whether through the loss of a loved one, the end of a dream, or the weight of your own insecurities, something within you begins the slow, sacred work of healing. That process isn't perfect. It leaves marks. But those marks are proof that you are capable of recovery, that you have the power to rebuild. Your scars are not signs of damage. They are symbols of restoration. I know what you might be thinking, but my scars are ugly. They remind me of things I'd rather forget. I hear you. I felt that way too. There was a time in my life when I looked at my own scars, both the ones on my skin and the ones on my soul, and saw only shame. I saw the mistakes I'd made, the times I'd fallen short, the moments when life seemed to have won. I thought those scars made me less than others, that they disqualified me from happiness or success. But over time, I began to see them differently. I realized that my scars weren't just reminders of what I'd been through. They were roadmaps to where I was going. They showed me how far I'd come, how much I'd overcome. They taught me that pain is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. Let me share a story with you, one that illustrates the strength in scars. There was a young woman named Maya, who grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone else's business. Maya was bright, ambitious, and full of dreams, but her life wasn't easy. Her family struggled financially, and she faced constant pressure to fit in at school, where she was often mocked for her hand-me-down clothes and quiet demeanor. When Maya was 16, a fire broke out in her family's home. They escaped, but not without cost. Maya's arm was badly burned, leaving a jagged scar that stretched from her elbow to her wrist. For years, she hid that scar, wearing long sleeves, even in the heat of summer, convinced it made her unlovable. But the deeper scars were the ones no one could see, the ones carved by years of feeling like she wasn't enough. As Maya grew older, she carried those scars into her adult life. She worked hard, put herself through college, and landed a job at a marketing firm. But the insecurities lingered. She felt like an imposter, always waiting for someone to notice her flaws. One day, her company was tasked with creating a campaign for a nonprofit that supported burn survivors. Maya was assigned to the project, and for the first time, she had to confront her scar head-on. She met survivors who wore their scars proudly, who spoke of them as symbols of survival, not shame. One woman, a firefighter who had been injured saving a child, told Maya, "This scar doesn't define me, it reminds me of who I am and what I'm capable of." Those words changed everything for Maya. She began to see her scar not as a mark of weakness, but as a badge of resilience. She started wearing short sleeves, letting her scar tell its story. She shared her experiences with her colleagues, and to her surprise, they didn't judge her, they admired her. Maya's campaign for the nonprofit became a massive success, not just because of her talent, but because of the authenticity she brought to it. Her scar, once a source of shame, became a source of strength. It connected her to others, inspired them, and reminded her that her pain had a purpose. Maya's story is a powerful reminder that our scars can become our superpowers. They don't just tell the world what we've been through, they show the world what we're made of. When you embrace your scars, you reclaim your story, you take back the power to define who you are, rather than letting your pain or your past do it for you. Your scars are not liabilities, they are assets. They are the raw material of your growth, the building blocks of your courage, and the foundation of your purpose. So, how do you find the strength in your scars? It starts with a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing your scars as reminders of what you've lost, start seeing them as reminders of what you've gained. Every scar represents a lesson learned, a strength discovered, a resilience forged. Maybe you lost a job, but that loss taught you how to adapt and persevere. Maybe you went through a heartbreak that left you shattered, but it showed you how to love yourself more fiercely. Maybe you faced an illness that tested your body and spirit, but it revealed a depth of courage you didn't know you had. Your scars are not just marks of survival, they are milestones of growth. Let's talk about the process of embracing your scars. It's not easy, and it's not instant. Healing is a journey, and like any journey, it requires patience, effort, and grace. The first step is acceptance. This doesn't mean you have to love your scars right away or pretend they don't hurt. It means acknowledging them, giving them space to exist without judgment. Look at your scars, whether they're on your body or in your heart, and say, "You are part of me, but you are not all of me. You are a chapter in my story, not the whole book." Acceptance is about making peace with your past, not erasing it. The next step is reflection. Take time to think about what your scars have taught you. Maybe the scar of a failed relationship showed you what you truly value in a partner. Maybe the scar of a professional setback revealed your ability to pivot and innovate. Maybe the scar of a childhood trauma helped you develop empathy that now allows you to help others. Write down your scars if you can, and next to each one, write what it taught you. This exercise isn't about dwelling on pain. It's about mining your pain for wisdom. Your scars are like maps. They show you where you've been and guide you toward where you're going. The third step is sharing. Your scars are not just for you, they're for others too. When you share your story, you give others permission to do the same. You create a ripple effect of courage and connection. Think about the people who inspire you most. Chances are, they're not the ones who seem perfect, they're the ones who are real, who face adversity and come out stronger. When you share your scars, you become that person for someone else. You don't have to stand on a stage or write a book, though you could. Sometimes, it's as simple as telling a friend, "I've been through this, and here's how I got through it." Your vulnerability is a gift, one that can light the way for others. Let me tell you another story. This one about a man named James. James was a veteran who served multiple tours overseas. He returned home with scars, both visible and invisible shrapnel, wounds on his leg, and the heavy weight of post-traumatic stress for years. James struggled to adjust to civilian life. He felt disconnected, haunted by memories he couldn't escape. His scars, both physical and emotional, made him feel like he didn't belong. But one day, James attended a support group for veterans. He listened as others shared their stories, their scars, their struggles for the first time. He felt seen. He began to open up, sharing his own experiences, his own scars. Through those conversations, James discovered a purpose. He started volunteering with the group, helping other veterans navigate their challenges. He used his scars, the ones on his body and the ones in his mind, to connect with others, to show them they weren't alone. Over time, James realized that his scars weren't just remnants of pain. They were tools for healing, both for himself and for others. He didn't erase his past, but he transformed it. His scars became his strength, his bridge to a new mission in life. James's story shows us that our scars don't just shape us, they can shape the world around us. When you embrace your scars, you don't just heal yourself, you become a beacon for others. You show them that pain is not the end, that brokenness can lead to beauty, that wounds can lead to wisdom. Your scars are not just personal, they're universal. They connect you to every other person who has ever hurt, who has ever fought, who has ever risen again. Now, let's address something important: the fear of being defined by your scars. It's natural to worry that people will see your scars and judge you, that they'll reduce you to your pain or your past. But here's the truth: you are not your scars. You are the courage that carried you through them. You are the resilience that rebuilt you. You are the hope that keeps you moving forward. Your scars are part of your story, but they are not the whole story. You get to decide what defines you, not your pain, not your past, not the opinions of others. You define yourself by the choices you make, the love you give, the dreams you chase. So, what do you do with the strength in your scars? You use it. You use it to live boldly, to love deeply, to dream fearlessly. You use it to take risks, knowing that even if you fail, you've survived worse. You use it to lift others up, to show them that they too can find strength in their scars. You use it to build a life that reflects not just where you've been, but where you're going. Your scars are not chains, they are wings. They don't hold you back, they lift you higher. As you move forward, remember this: your scars are not a burden, they are a gift. They are proof that you are stronger than the things that tried to break you. They are reminders that you are capable of healing, of growing, of becoming more than you ever thought possible. The strength in your scars is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about taking every wound, every pain, every setback, and turning it into fuel for your journey. It's about standing tall, like that tree in the forest, and saying, I am here, I am whole, and I am unstoppable. So, my friend, look at your scars today. Look at them with new eyes. See them not as marks of shame, but as marks of strength. Let them remind you of how far you've come, how much you've overcome, and how much more you have to give. Your scars are your story. Your story is your power. Embrace it, share it, live it. The world is waiting for the strength in your scars. Life has a way of making us feel broken sometimes, doesn't it? The weight of a failure, the sting of rejection, the ache of a dream that didn't come true. These moments can leave us feeling like shattered glass, scattered and sharp, impossible to piece back together. But what if I told you that you're not broken? What if